You can create embroidery from an image like a JPEG or a bitmap or a PNG using the automatic digitizing tools, and that are found up at the top under the wizard hat. If you click on the tool, you'll notice there's actually two, the auto digitizer and then the advanced auto digitizer. And so we'll make two separate videos, one for each tool to go through them. And this video will be about using the auto digitizing wizard. And essentially when you click on that tool, a wizard opens up. And the first sort of stage is to select an image or acquire an image. So I guess acquire an image would mean if you had a scanner attached to your computer and you wanted to sort of use your scanner. Usually I just say select the image and I find the image that I already have saved somewhere on my computer. These are images that comes with the Floriani software, but of course this will work with any type of image that you can find in this list here. So basically you have things like BMP, PNG, JPG, and those types of images. But when you click on the image, it shows you what it looks like, and then you can say open to select it. And so now the, I guess, sort of address bar here has that image selected, and I can say next. So the first step is to interact with the size of the image, and it tells you the current size, which is I guess about 1.5 inches. If you're planning on making a 4-inch embroidery, then you should tell it now, because the software will be choosing the types of stitches, and it's going to do that based upon the size of the elements. And so set your size and then choose next. You do have the ability to crop the image here. If you didn't want to auto digitize all of it, then you could interact with the image and change the sort of area that's to be digitized. But once you have that all selected, you say next. And so now it's about the colors, and it's actually reducing the colors. And I know it doesn't seem like it's reduced it, but if you were to look really closely at the original image, you would see that there's a lot of shades of blue, and it simply found the most common ones being kind of a light blue, a medium blue, and a dark blue. And if you want, you can select on those colors and delete them, and then the program will, combine these with different colors of the design. So this is your ability to interact, both adding and sort of deleting colors from the design. And then when you're happy with the colors, you say next. So this is the stage where the program kind of vectorizes the image, and if you're finding any elements that are not being picked up, you can use the slider to kind of have less or more tolerance, and click apply to see if that's changing the results. The other thing that happens at this stage is the software has detected white is a background color, and it's going to leave that out unless we check this checkbox telling it that we do want it to fill in the background color with stitches. And so when I say next, there's one last sort of window to go through, and it's simply how do you want to handle things like lock stitches and trims. And so you might say always lock stitch and always trim, or only trim and only lock if the distance is so far. Or never and never, and it's entirely up to you. And there's also an option for minimizing color changes versus minimizing jumps, and if there's kind of like some, you could try either one, and it may make kind of more color changes but less jumps, or the opposite, less color changes, but possibly more jumps. And so when you say finish, it takes and creates the embroidery design of the dragonfly. And now that it's created, I just want to point out that the software has created the shapes, and now you can click on those shapes and interact with them. And so if you wanted to, change the style of embroidery for parts of the design, you can easily do that. So auto digitizing simply means the software will create the shapes and assign the stitching to those shapes. But then it's all completely possible to be edited after the auto digitizing step. And so that is your first video for auto digitizing tool.